Today we're going to create a post, part 1. Welcome to WordPress Vidcast, a daily video podcast featuring WordPress tutorials, theme reviews, plugin reviews, techniques, tactics, tips, and tricks so you can build a niche site, build your small business website, build your brand hub, or build your first website without freaking out. You can build a website with WordPress and I can show you how. The WordPress Vidcast. Use the hell out of WordPress. Welcome to the WP Vidcast. I'm your host Josh Robbs, helping you use the hell out of WordPress. Today we're going to create a post. This is the first of 2 tutorials. This one is the absolute basic, most basic things that you actually have to do. And then tomorrow I'll do some of the extra add-ons. This is, like I said, ultra basic, bare minimum for success. Alright, let's switch over to the website. Now this is my test site. This is, there it is. This is the WP Vidcast test site at www.vidcast.dev. Now if you go type this into your computer, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. This website only exists on my computer. So if you try that stuff, it ain't going to work. Now let's look at one more thing. If you're really confused, to get to this page, to get to the dashboard, what you do is you type in your domain name, www.whatever.com or whatever, and then you make sure you have this /wp-admin at the end. If you're not logged in, it'll prompt you to log in, but then it will redirect you to here. Alright, let me get rid of this stuff. And the first step for creating a post is to create a post. Now, there is 3.5 ways to do it. Option number 1, click posts. And in this screen, you can option 1, click add new. Option 2, click add new. They take you to this page. Let's go back to the dashboard. Option number 2, hover over posts, click add new. Oh look, this looks really familiar. And this other one works from anywhere. Actually, we'll go into links. All right, we're into links, and if you hover over up in this top bar, you hover over plus new, then click post. It's deja vu all over again. Boom, add new post. Now, this is take 2, so I've edited things a little bit. So allow me to clean up the mess. There we go. Now that's one tip real quick. This is a bonus tip, I guess, because it's not a bare minimum. This bottom right corner, you can adjust the size of the window you're working in. Right like that. Anything that's got those lines on it. Now this is, I'm using a Mac, I'm using Chrome. Yours may respond or look a little different. Alright, the 3 areas we're going to look at. Number 1, we're going to look at the title. It goes right here. We're going to look at the publishing area and all the buttons we got here and all these settings. And we're going to look at this right here and this right here. This is the GUI interface. Also a what you see is what you get, or WYSIWYG. A WYSIWYG editor. Alright, enough of that. Let's erase this and get into it. Number 1, the title. You put in your title here. Title of post. I have no idea what I just did. I wasn't selected. Title of post. See folks, I'm a coder and I still look at my keyboard and my fingers when I type. So there's title of post goes up in there. That affects some things. That's a little more advanced. We'll deal with that in another tutorial. Number 2, let's look over here at this section, at the publish section. This is super powerful. Alright, if you notice right now, you have 3 buttons: save draft, preview, and publish. Preview takes whatever you have in your post, opens a new window, and displays it just like it would show up in your website if it was live. Now, these 2 control your post's status. See right there's a status? You have 4 of them. You have draft. You have pending, like it's pending review. You can use that however you want. You have published. You hit the published, or hit the publish button and get published, and then you have scheduled. Now, how do you get to all of those? Let's look at them real quick. Close that. All right, you just hit edit your status, and that gives you pending review or draft. Pick the one you want. You hit OK, and if it's from this pull down, if you notice, this and this, they match. When When this said draft, you hit OK, it changed. Those are two of them. If you get a plugin like Edit Flow, it will change. You can add a bunch to it. Now, real quick, visibility. You can make it private, password protected, or public. Generally, you're not going to use it very much. All right, now, publish. Your publish time. Hit Edit. Changes the time. My number one gripe about this section is that this isn't a calendar. I don't know why. I have to type in each thing individually. It should be a damn calendar. But I'm going to fast forward to September, and I'm going to hit OK. And now it is scheduled for September 29th, 2012 at 23:19. And then if I clear that, and I hit this button right here, it's now scheduled. There's nothing here. There's nothing here, but it's showing scheduled. And if you did that by accident, you just hit edit and put it back to something else. You update it, and then now it's pending. There it is. Ta-da! All right. One last thing before we get into the GUI. See this right here? I'll cover that in the next tutorial. All right, the GUI interface. Here's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to look at this interface and go all the way to the right down here, and click the last button. It is the kitchen sink. It shows you everything. And I want you, don't worry about expanding. We'll deal with that later. All right, so here's the kitchen sink. I'm going to switch over to another post. They already have some bull crap filler info in. There it is. Doesn't have a title. We'll give it a title. That's an awesome title, my favorite. All right, and I expanded the working area a little bit. Upload insert. Well, let's go through the buttons real quick. And I'll show you them one by one. Upload insert. That is for media, video, audio, photographs. We'll do that in the next tutorial. All right, the next one, self-explanatory if you've ever used Word, Microsoft Word or OpenOffice or any of those. If you can use those, you can use this. It's 90% the same. If you want to make something bold, you select it and you click the button bold. Now it's darker, it's strong. If you want to change it, you select the area and you click it again, and that's how you undo it. See, if you look at it and you pick an area that's bold, you can see that it's depicted as on. If you click somewhere it's not on, it's depicted as off. If you have a mixed area like this where I have bar is not bold and I want to make it all, I want to erase it all, or I want to make it all the same, if you just click it a couple times, they'll all come to the same. It's not like they won't blink back and forth. The other buttons up here are italics. See, it makes it italics. Or you have strike through, and if you go down just a little bit, you have the U with the underscore. That is for underline. Now all four of these can be mixed and matched in any combination, whatever suits your needs or your fancy. Now if you want to erase it all real quick, just hit erase, and it apparently does everything except for strike through. There we go. Learned something new right there. I didn't even know that. We're going to skip these two right here. These are for lists. I'll come back to them before the show's over. They're just a pain in the butt. Sometimes they behave poorly. Not bad, just poorly. All right. This button right here is block quote. It has a special, it provides special emphasis. So it indents it. It gave it a little bit of formatting. And how it's actually going to look is dependent on your theme. And let me tell you one more thing. This is a what you see is what you get, but it really is what you see is what you get mostly. Your theme can take this and change it drastically. So don't be surprised if you're doing something and it doesn't look exactly like this. Next we're talking about formatting. Sorry, next part of formatting we're talking about is justification or aligning your text. This top paragraph is even with the left margin. It is left aligned. This one we will center. Everything is centered in the middle. And the third one we're going to right justify. It means everything on the right, or everything is aligned to the right. And this last one will fold justify. That is this button right here. You'll rarely ever use it. If you look at the top line of that paragraph, how it spaces itself out so that it's nice and even. Newspapers do that. All right, let's get rid of this crap. And see how that removed everything but block quote. There it is. Okay, next up is a link. You select the text you want to turn into a link. You click it. You put in the URL. You decide whether or not you want to open a new window or tab. You hit add link, and now you have a piece of text that operates according to your theme and is a clickable link once it's published. If you want to edit it, you click the same button and you change the information. If you want to make it go away, you click unlink. Boom. The next one is more. You use that for creating pages if that's what you're doing. It looks like that. You can just delete it by backing over it. You have a spell checker. You have full screen edit. This is kind of cool. It gets rid of all that other mumbo jumbo. I never use it, and I never use it because I usually enter a completed document into here. I don't do my writing in here. Next, you have, we'll start on the right side. Help, redo, undo. So if I just change stuff, I hit that, or I hit undo. Come on, there we go. See how that was gone? Now it reappeared. That's because I undid my damage. Now you have two buttons that control. These two buttons control your indent. It's kind of similar to block quote, but without the fanciness. You just click it and you can say how far you want it pushed over. And if you push it over too far, it will go down to the next line. As you can see, you're not going to use it a lot, but you will use it with lists. If you need to insert a special character, you click that omega. We already talked about erase. These two buttons, the T and the W, are for pasting in text. Sometimes text doesn't want to paste in right, so you got to do what you got to do. And in this case, what you got to do is use this feature. Click that, paste it in here, and insert it, and it'll paste in much better. And this last one that we haven't talked about is how you change the color of text. Can it be erased? Yes, it can be erased. Alright, and the last section right here is you can set different kinds of pre-made formatting. There's heading 3. This one is heading 2. You'll use these. This is a little more advanced, but you can use this to break up your text, give section headers, and I bring it up for one key reason. It cannot be erased, and sometimes you'll be messing with stuff, and this box will say format, and it's not looking right. All you have to do, if that's the case, is simply select the area and switch it to paragraph, and it should return to normal. Now the last thing, the one I warned you that doesn't always work properly, are the lists. You have two kinds of lists: the unordered list or the bulleted list, and there's not a sequence to them, and the numbered list or ordered list, or there's numbers. Now, let me see what I can do here. There we go. 4 items. The number one problem with lists is there's no simple way to easily undo them. You have to undo it block by block or item by item, and if you notice, the spaces went away. And I will show you what that is here in a second. All the spaces went away. So if you have to unlist something, it's a pain in the butt. One other thing to create indents, tab doesn't work. You hit tab, that's how you do it in Microsoft Word. In this case, you actually have to click the margin indent right there, and you get something like that or more. And the other way to undo this is to shift the margin all the way over, and it still has the same poorly behaving effect. Now what this is, if you'll notice, if you see where I'm at the end of the first paragraph. It says gummies, and I'm going to type a little bit. Now if I hit enter, there's a space here, and I'm all the way down here. Now if I do the same thing and hold shift and hit enter, I'm right below it. Actually, I'm right below it. There's no space. There's no space right there. That's the difference. If you just hit enter, it creates a new paragraph. If you hold shift and hit enter, it just puts you on a new line in the same paragraph. So that's it. That's the difference. If you have any questions you want answered, get a hold of me on Twitter. It is at wpvidcast.com/Twitter. If you want Facebook, it's /Facebook. What else? There's a contact page. Go to wpvidcast.com, find contact Josh. It's at the top right, and that's it. Unless you want to email me, josh@wpvidcast.com. Till next time, folks, build it, break it, build it better.